All right, boys and girls, here we are, and let me see if my microphone is recording. It looks like it is. Yep, sure is. All right. Figure I put the microphone so you guys can hear me pretty well. We are going with a far driver, and there's different reasons why I would change my controllers. Originally we started from 48 volt controller with 35 amps, and we built the bike on that. Then we had an 80 amp Chinese, knockoff basic controller with no capabilities of changing the settings, the parameters in it. We also, from there, went to a Kelly controller, which came up to be a bitch to wire. And I talked with Tony, and we both determined that Kelly controller is the hardest controller to wire up. And I'm glad that I started with Kelly controller because it gave me a different feeling. Sorry, folks, but yeah, over here I lost the volume for whatever reason. Microphone wasn't working, but it will pick up about 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So we'll continue with the recording. And sorry for the voiceover, but hopefully you're enjoying the content. And we are going to move forward and start in a couple of seconds. So please enjoy the rest of the film. That's the entire harness, if you look at it. So kind of like, I guess they would determine plug and play, right? So it has the same connection like QS motor. This is a FarDriver, the ND-72360 controller. So a quick specification on this controller is 300 amps for 4,000 watt DS motor for QS motors. If we go to specifications or maybe description, it will give us a different perspectives of understanding this. So this has a 170 amps max DC current, which is pretty decent. Take a quick look. I'll read it off so you don't have to really pause or anything like that. But this is the one. So it's 170 amps of max DC. It works on 72, 84, 96 volts, which is great. It weighs 2.05 kilograms, and the phase current protection is at 360 amps. It's rated for 3,000 to 4,000 kilowatt motor. It is completely IP67 waterproof. Its measurements, and this is why I picked this controller over Kelly. Its full measurements in width is 121 millimeters, which my battery is 135. So this is smaller than my battery. And then so that's the width. The length is 189, which is about 7 inches. Okay, and the depth, the height is about 2.25. So it's very close to what originally it is for Kelly, and also comes with a Bluetooth. And there is a kick to it. I want to share that with you guys. That's the Bluetooth that it comes with. You can see the software, and it's funny because I see lots of people running that software, also always wondering which controller they're using. Like Crosswire guy on YouTube, Chris Crosswires, somewhere in New York, probably upstate. He's running this software, that means that he's running this controller, and he's probably running more than 170 amps. He's probably doing a 200, 250, probably 200. But it is solely used for scooters, motorcycles, not really bicycles, electric bikes. Um, it is it has flux weakening function, which is actually great. Kelly really doesn't have that. Sabaton originally came with that idea, and Sabaton was being abused for flux weakening function. Lots of people jumped over from knockoff Chinese regular basic controllers to Sabaton because you could get the 80 amps, the 100, the 150, and a 200. But if you compare the prices, Sabaton and FarDriver, they are far from the same. Sabaton 150 will be at approximately $350, and that's a decent price on eBay. On Amazon, probably also 350 to 450, because they are for privileged people. I guess whoever makes good money will go to Amazon. I mean, I do buy things from Amazon because they great shipment timing and everything else. But I see everything's overpriced at least 30 to 50% on Amazon, which is ridiculous. But so this has flux weakening function, and it also have regen, which Sabaton was extremely popular for a regen and flux weakening. However, this controller, if you take a quick look, where the heck did it go? I just had it here. So this is right bottom. It its offer is for 160 from AliExpress plus $50 shipping and handling, which is just ridiculous. I don't know if you can see it, but it is $200 with shipping, handling, and tax, and it's just crazy great buy. Of course, this controller is still made in China, just like any other controller that we use. It's just, I guess this difference is it has the same functionality as the Sabaton 150, and it is pretty much, I would say, 60% smaller, and it also operates at 96, where Sabaton operates at the 150 amps, operates at 94. So this one is 170 amps, and Sabaton is at 150, and I believe Sabaton flux weakening is at 350, which this one's at 360. Sabaton is also, and Kelly is not waterproof. You also have a close twin brother to this controller, which is Volton, and that is also a look-alike controller, and it's also pretty decent quality. So I do like that. And here's the funny thing about this. If you look, this is the software, and I have gone through so many websites, so many links, so many forums, so many suggestions of where can I get the software. And unlike Kelly, unlike Sabaton, I don't know about Volton, but Sabaton and Kelly, you can download the software and pretty much have it at hand whenever you want. However, after when I was doing the research for the entire 8 hours that I was working on, I was unable to find a legit link. Even the link that the manufacturer had sent me that I bought the controller, this controller FarDriver. it was interrupted. I downloaded, but the files were interrupted. So I'm not really sure. The PDF was completely cool. It worked fine, but of the software itself, it was corrupted and I was unable to download it from anywhere else. And again, the link that I had created for me was from the manufacturer where from I bought the controller, which is due like at the end of this month with the express shipping. Um, so again, you know, all these guys on YouTube are shooting these videos with this controller, FarDriver, and nobody tells you where to get the software, what is the link, where is the link that actually works. They do not tell you how they hooked it up, and it's a shame. They just tell you that, oh, this is hooked up to this software, and that's it. They don't tell you how, what, and where. Now, what I found out is that when you connect this FarDriver with your phone, your password is actually so-called your phone number, and then you can change that by putting a serial number of the controller into a controller, and then changing it that way, the password. Um, so it's kind of funny, but nobody would ever thought about it. So it is your cell phone, and once the software registers, you put in your serial number from the FarDriver, and then you could set your password to whatever you wish it was. I don't know why would people want to get into your controller for whatever reason, just silly, and I don't think that's a huge concern. Um, but obviously, strangers don't know your phone number, so who cares? Blah blah blah, so on and so forth. And this is the first controller that you use your phone number as a password. But anyhow, so nobody uh, will tell you where to get the link. They shoot all these videos. They don't tell you where to get the link. And I had a lot of people ask for the links for Kelly, for Sabaton, and all that. And I just told them, look, you could get to either your iPhone or your Android store, and you can download it. Where this file driver, you just can't. So next question, probably I will get from you is that, well, where is it exactly you got the software? Where did you download it from? Since the manufacturer sent me a link, didn't work. Looked everyone into it for over 8 hours, nothing worked. Most of the files were corrupted or they were empty. So I literally had to get on a chat room with the manufacturer and tell them, look, the link you gave me, it's faulty. It doesn't work. It's a corrupted file, and I can't use the controller. Even though I don't have it in my possession, I said, like, don't even bother sending it. If I don't have the software, I can't get it going. So yesterday in China, actually was Saturday morning, this young man was nice enough to said, listen, catch me up on WhatsApp. Give me your WhatsApp, and I'll get you on WhatsApp, and I will send you the file. And of course, I'm always concerned about security and all that, being kind of skeptical. But I says, you know what? It makes sense. Regular texting won't work, and what's going to work is usually the bigger third party software, which is your WhatsApp. So we went to WhatsApp, and he forwarded the application. I downloaded on my phone, which of course you'll be skeptical because you have to authorize your phone to override from non-secured source to download it. The phone downloaded. I downloaded, opened it, and it worked fine. It loaded right in. So it was great. I have what I need. I have the software, and I'm ready to receive it. But again, you don't be fooled when you buy secondhand controller, which you can get it on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp or Craigslist. You will not get the software most likely uh, for whatever reason. You don't even think about it. You assume that you can download it from whatever, which is this is not that's not the situation. Um, so I went through a hustle to find, and I finally reached out and see if the manufacturer can give me a different link. So I'm very glad it works. Now again, you have lots of parameters that you can change over here, just like on Kali, just like on Suboton, just like everywhere. But you don't have the flex weakening. And for $200, for $200 versus Kali Suboton for $350, $450, this is a steal. And the measurements that they are showing are close to Kali, if not a bit smaller. So it's kind of funny where you have this bulky Sabaton and it pushes 150 amps, but it's so big that it takes half your belly, which we really don't even have that space. And Kelly is not waterproof unless you pay additional money to have it waterproof by the manufacturer. So if I was to sell my Kelly, I would gladly be able to reveal that, look, this controller is completely waterproof. You can, dump it in a bathtub and it's not going to leak any water because it's filled with jelly or gel, whatever you want to call it. And if you open it, you can actually see it too. And again, it has also flux weakening, which biggest disadvantage about Kelly was that it doesn't have flux weakening. And don't get it wrong, Kelly and FarDriver are both very difficult controllers to tune to the specs you want. There is, you have a sport mode on your throttle, you have eco mode, and you have modern on the throttle, and then of course you can tweak it. So every time you press on your throttle, you can either have normal response, or you can have really race feel like response. So I just I'm just a little bit concerned about the terminals, the way they are facing, because they are facing forward, and I don't like when things are facing forward because they are exposed. They are nuts and bolts that they actually have for this system, and it is kind of concerning. Let me see if I can zoom it in. All right, so these bolts, right? These are the bolts that go on the terminal, and the problem is they are exposed, right? So there's a couple of things you can do, and I'm only mentioning this right now because it might become an issue for anybody else. I'm hoping it's not going to be an issue for me because my electric work is pretty decent. It doesn't have any exposed wires. Everything is waterproof, so on and so forth. But you could do either a good quality M3 electric tape, put that over. You could do a electric liquid tape to do it that way, and you would only remove it when you wish to remove the controller. Again, the harness itself is also waterproof, and you don't really have to cut anything, which is pretty decent. You don't have to worry about it. There is pretty much everything on this website that you can find in PDF of how, what, and where. If you were to lose your dongle Wi-Fi, it is costing you a couple of dollars, $26. Let me take a look if it's 26. Yep, it's 26. All right, it's 26 and $5 shipping and handling. So that's like about $33. So that's not bad. It's not, where you don't have any parts whatsoever. Um, this is the same controller for 218 plus free shipping and handling. Looks really nice, organized. Um, this is another a picture. So it's something I'm looking forward to because again, it says, if you look at descriptions, is electric scooters, mopeds, motorcycles control. So this is kind of like we moving up in a place where we started from regular bicycle controller, and then went to a high performance controller, so called, but it was only 80 amps, and we weren't able to set the power meters. Then we went extreme to Cali, which Cali is extremely famous for great controllers for quads, and cars and other golf carts and whatever, motorcycles too. So it was something that it was great to experience with. Again, the wiring was knowledgeable. It was at one point not necessarily frustrating, but it was time consuming, which is kind of a goner. But excuse me, all these. I mean, this harness is just like any harness. You don't have to do anything additional. Just plug and play and call it a day. However, we do have the throttle that we did wires. We do not have a harness for the throttle, so we're going to remove the throttle of Kelly because it's soldered, and we're going to cut the power on and off from the ignition halfway, because this controller also have to be powered with ignition on and off, just like Kelly. And it so happened to be a pink and a black wire rather than pink and yellow at Kelly. So we will address that, and that comes in also a plug harness. So that we will go into cut, and we'll deal with that and solder it and heat shrink it. However, the difference here is that your throttle has a nice. So I'm going to use different throttle, new throttle. So I just plug and play. Then another beautiful thing is your 3-speed has a plug. So you can buy a plug, you plug it in, and it works. You don't have to do no rewiring. That's going to be easy. I can put that 3-speed plug in case somebody wants to ride it that is not experienced. I don't like the fact of that, but we'll make it very simple. We'll do the whole sensor wires. We'll do the power wires. We'll plug it in just so we can get the power, we can get the sensors. We do self-learning on the bike, and once we do the self-learning on the bike for the whole sensors, we'll spin out. Apparently, when you do the whole self-learning on this controller, FarDriver, it actually spins at full throttle because you're holding a full throttle, and that's how it spins. It will spin forward, then it will spin backwards. It takes less than a minute, but you do have to hold the throttle all the way down, full throttle. Where unlike in Kelly, you literally have to go to your application. You have to put 170 angle on the whole sensor, and then it will spin. And if you have to turn on, spin, and all that good stuff. But that's for troubleshooting. You guys know my website. You can always reach me over there. You got my phone number. You can troubleshoot that way, which I've done for a couple of people because they got a new motor and they didn't know how to do, whole sensors on Kelly. Where this, you keep it at a full throttle. You don't have to change nothing in your application. You don't have to type any codes, nothing like that. It's just they're saying a little bit more harder to connect to the application for whatever reason. I don't see the problem since I know what the password is and so on and so forth. There are many tricks to connect to Kelly Sabaton. volts on FarDriver. You just gotta know most of them, and I've experienced most of them. I never owned most of them or all of them. We're in this situation. I can say that I've owned Salvatron, I've owned Kelly, and I've owned FarDriver. I own now. Voltron, I never owned it, but I've had couple people that have owned it, and I was able to kind of play with it in the software, which is the same thing like FarDriver software. In regards to that, we are going to give it a shot, and hopefully it's not an issue. Um, am I changing the controller because my Kelly is showing overvolt? Not really. I'm always sure 99.9% that the sparks that was being created by the Hall sensor wire of the motor was creating the overpower, the overvoltage on my bike. Right now it's cold, it's rainy. It's supposed to snow on Monday, Sunday night. It's like the weather is really shitty. So I don't want to abuse my body and go out there and do this for no reason, because obviously I'm not gonna ride the bike. So the bike is still with burnt components like the headlight, the tail light, and all that. So I don't even worry about it. Figure while I'm on that, I'll get the FarDriver, and regardless, I'm still gonna have to take out the battery to do this, controller, and work something with the terminals. You might put them to the side. I might, whichever is gonna work. I'll come up with something. But I, excuse me, I do like that. If I have to put it outside, I will put it outside, and excuse me, it shouldn't be that hard to have it outside. I will probably have it facing upwards. I might do it, I might not do it. I don't know. When I get it, I see the size of it. I'll work with it. It could be an issue because the harness, it's kind of white at the bottom, kind of like OBD2 computer plug when you do your state inspection for emission and anything else in your car. You kind of like underneath you plug that OBD2 sensor. It seems like it's the same thing. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that harness through. So would it have to go through? Not really, because in reality, the whole sensor wires will just go through and attach to here, and the motor wires will go through. So I really don't have to have it out or in. But again, the ends are not waterproof, so I would have to work with that, where it's kind of it should be inside because it's not waterproof. But it's just something that you got to think about. People don't think about it, and these wires, they cannot be exposed. If you look, if water gets to these wires, you'll cause a short circuit, definitely an error in the system, and you're gonna get stuck. So that part of a wire harness has to be somehow, somewhat either waterproofed or inside the frame. There's no any way around it. The question is it going to reach from underneath the seat far inside or far enough inside the frame? So yes, again, I'm not concerned about Kelly. Kelly's still working perfectly normal. I took the bike for a ride for a couple of minutes. It rode around the neighborhood. I full throttled it many times, and it did not show overvolt. What happened was that when you full throttle a bike and it spins out really fast, it produces electricity, and it might put a overvolt voltage code, and that's pretty much what it was. Other than that, all we have to just wait. It's not expensive. It's $200 compared to Kelly and compared to Salvatron. Again, we are doing all these changes and improvements because we're aiming for a stronger and bigger battery. So this is kind of like a slow go. We do have Kelly, we do have now FarDriver, we do have the front wheel replaced. We do have a motor already in QS. We do have a what handlebars and things like that. So we pretty much have everything except the battery. So most likely the battery will be the next final biggest purchase, and hoping to do hopefully another season, because season is right around the corner. So another season with this battery, and maybe in November, December. Unfortunately, since we're going so crazy with China, we might have a knock it off the wood, some sort of conflict with China, and all these prices might completely change. You never know. So certain things are good to get now, and of course, the mayor uh, put out a new law about the used and remanufactured batteries, because of so many fires in New York City of these batteries, lithium batteries, that I'm not sure how this law is going to impact, all the electric cars or electric bikes, well, mostly electric bikes. How is that going to impact us? Whether you're going to be able to take it on the ferry, whether you're going to be able to ride it free without anybody looking in your belly. But I know I have all the specs and the regulations already on my battery. It is a sticker that has been, built by legit corporation, and they followed all the guidelines and safety protocol for that battery. Um, I look at the two spots that I usually buy my batteries from, and they have all the certificates necessary. So the battery shows that it has warranty, it has all the safety precautions and everything else already nicely, built and looked for. That now we're going to enforce in New York City. So stick around, because we are going to receive this controller. We are going to wire it. We are going to give it a shot. We are going to play with the flex weakening, and we are going to see how far, how fast, how accurate, how torquey this controller is. How is this controller to handle? How is the battery going to handle this with flux weakening? Um, of course, I hope everybody knows how flux weakening works. If not, I suggest you Google it, or you call somebody knowledgeable like Tony, and he'll explain that to you. That's not a big deal. No, he's a good dude, and he'll take his time. I mean, we talked about it, and it completely makes sense. Um, and stick around, because we're going to install this dude, and we're going to do a review after installment, see how the performance is, and whether we like it or not. See the ease of the ride, the ease of work with the software from the developer, the ease of use in regards writing. Also, see whether the battery will deplete faster with flux weakening higher. First, probably we'll try with no flux weakening, then we're going to raise it up probably 50, 50, 50, 50 until we get the 360 and see what happens. We'll see if the BMS is going to shut me down, so I'm ready for a couple times of downtime on the road and pedaling back to freaking house. So I can be doing these tests when I'm far away from the house, or when I'm going to work. But I know that BMS does that, even though everybody would say, you're abusing a BMS. You know what? In reality, I'm not. I'm testing the BMS, because if the BMS shuts me down, I know it's doing its job. So stick around. Make sure you share. Definitely subscribe. It would be really nice when we can subscribe more people to the channel. We have roughly under 500 subscribers last time I looked. And having 1,000 subscribers will be cool, because we can gain some sort of more knowledge. We can expand the channel more. We can gain more equipment, or more gadgets, more reviews, so on and so forth. So there's lots of to it. So definitely tell your friends about the channel, share, make sure they subscribe, make sure everybody likes, the videos due to the rhythm of the YouTube. That's how the channel shows on a YouTube will show more often. I'll do some shorts so I get more exposure, do some marketing on Facebook, some marketing on Instagram, put out a couple of shorts out there, and hopefully people will follow. And don't hesitate to donate through PayPal. There's a few videos with the link. If you need a link, text me. I'll set up the link for you. Supporting the channel is nothing bad. Always appreciate it. If you wish, you wish. If you don't, you don't. We're not gonna, shut the channel just because of that. You have any problems, any issues whatsoever, give us a call. We are always glad to answer questions. We have Tony that usually works on lots of things. We have myself where I have also decent knowledge of certain things. I don't change tires for 40 minutes on the video. I don't fix flats for 40 minutes on the video. My videos are mostly informative. I'm not going to sit, in front of the camera and solder for 6 hours because that's not necessary. If we are doing troubleshooting through Zoom or FaceTime, it's a completely different story. I'll do things that I need to do. If I need to demonstrate it for you, I'll do so. So that's not a big deal. These videos aren't for show and tell. It's pretty much for information. Any suggestions, any requests of a video, it's not a problem. Again, we just discovered that for this controller, you do not download, or you cannot download a link. So if you get this controller, don't hesitate to contact your manufacturer. As a matter of fact, now I have Voltone, I have Kelly, and I have FarDriver software for this is iPhone and Android. I also have it for PC. Same thing with Kelly. Voltone, I have it also. I have not checked it because I just don't have at hand the Voltone. My friend does. He doesn't have a Bluetooth. However, I can try this dangle Bluetooth with Voltone. It should work. It shouldn't be a problem. Only what it is, a Bluetooth receiver and nothing else. The communication protocols are still the same. Nothing changes. It's just a Bluetooth. What makes the difference with these things and controllers is the not the Bluetooth itself, not the hardware, but it's the software. If you have an application and you're using just a receiver, because I can connect any Bluetooth and it will work just like a Bluetooth. That's its function. Now, if I have a software that's not compatible with the controller, that's where the problem starts. So if you're running into problems, you can do certain things, you can connect, reach out to us, we'll help you. I've done it many times. I was troubleshooting before Salvatron like crazy. Before Russia let go of Salvatron because they're the manufacturers, China took it over, and now it's just lots of knockoffs with sloppy work, sloppy flux weakening strength. And even though it's there, it's not the same like when Russia had it back then. Anyhow, again, please make sure you subscribe. We definitely need more people to come around and to support the channel. We don't want the channel to freaking slow down every day, slow down more because I have less things, to deal with. I know I'd rather deal with clients, but also I'm putting these things out so you can come back. You can look forward to this controller, how that controller is going to work. We have Sabaton, we have Kelly, we have Voltone, we have also FarDriver. Any problems, any issues, make sure you give us a call. You text us, we'll video chat, we do what we need to do, we'll get you out of a trouble. You don't need to go to the shop where it needs to pay its mortgage, its electric bill, its gas bill, and advertisement, and so on and so forth. I guarantee you our prices are lower than the big guys on the market. I'm not here to make the money. I'm just here to make sure that everybody is running. However, I cannot do certain things completely for free. So therefore, just to support the channel and support the needs of the channel, there is always a fee. However, I've done lots of things without the fee. Anyhow, since we already mentioned that, again, subscribe because that's how it works. Make sure you like this because that's the rhythm of this YouTube, and make sure that you stick around for next season and see what's going to bring it over. Maybe it's going to be fun. Maybe it's going to be a disaster. We hope for the best. Until then, folks, I'm going to get out of here and enjoy my little beautiful coffee. Take a look at that.